So just a few days back, a gentleman walked into my counseling office and he had a very specific thing to discuss with me. He said, my wife is always complaining. What complaints? The complaints were random. It was not anything particular. But you see, his problem was that she was always complaining about something. He also confirmed that she was otherwise a fantastic wife, a fantastic person, a great mother, taking care of things, but she would complain either about him, about the household, about her health, or something or the other. So we kept on talking, it went on for a few sessions. Later on, I started realizing that maybe she's looking for his attention. So I made a suggestion. I said, let's give it a try. One small experiment. Just start complimenting her. Maybe you can add an I love you here and there. Maybe you can just kiss her or give her a hug casually. And let's see how she responds to that. Then we can think further what to do. He became really thoughtful. And then he quietly said, when I do this, she's fantastically fine. Now it was my turn to be surprised. And so I asked him that, why don't you do it? You know the solution, why don't you do it? And to which he again said, it's okay for a week or so, ma'am, but lifelong? Now it was really my turn to be surprised, and I almost asked him, do you feel that she's punching you when she kisses you? But that's joke apart. The thing is, this is exactly what we need to understand. What's happening to the relationships? All the relationships, it's just not the husband-wife relationship or the boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, the parent-child relationship, the friends relationship. Each of these relationships starts with love. What happens to this love soon? Like we are talking about the nice feeling of love. Okay, you can always say that, okay, I still love her, I still love him. But I'm talking about the nice feeling about love. Where is it disappearing? When we are trying to understand this, I would like to draw your attention to something very, very important. A relationship, a person's relationships to the others is directly related to that person's relationship with himself or herself. If I have a good relationship with myself, if I can love myself truly, if I can respect myself truly, it will be very easy for me to extend the same to the others. You might feel that, it's very easy. What's there so difficult? What's there to discuss about it? Trust me, it's not that easy. Most of us have very complicated relationships with ourselves. And that relationship is what is causing all the other relationship issues in our life. Here I would like to introduce a concept of self-esteem. Well, a very common word, there's nothing to introduce here. Yet when I ask people that what do you mean by self-esteem, do you understand what the word means? And people start saying that self-esteem is maybe self-respect, some of them say it is self-confidence. But trust me, all of these things, the self-confidence, self-respect, all of this comes after self-esteem. So self-esteem, this word esteem comes from estimate. Now perhaps you will be able to understand what I am trying to say. Estimate, when you make an estimate of something, of a property or something, you are trying to actually understand the value of that thing. So when I am talking about self-esteem, it is about what is the value do you give to yourself. We might feel, if I ask you, you will say that, okay, I do value myself. But then, if people are trying to insult you, if someone is trying to be rude with you, and you really feel bad, and if you're really affected by it, friends, I have a news for you, your self-esteem is not in the right place. Low self-esteem is something which most of the people on the surface of this earth are suffering from, including me and you. Low self-esteem. How does it work? It's very simple. How do I look at myself? Do I like what I see? Now, I'm not saying that I have to be one of the best person in the world. That will not be possible. That's an ideal situation. I'm just saying that whatever I am, whoever I am, do I really love that person with my faults and all? If I am able to love that, it's very easy for me to extend it to someone else. But we are often looking at ourselves through a distorted mirror. And that's the same distortion through which we look at other people. And that's why it is the relationships, the love which is always suffering. We'll go further into the details of this. When people suffer from low self-esteem, we'll come to it later that how self-esteem actually becomes low or high. But first let us talk about that when people suffer from low self-esteem, what happens in their lives. So there are different ways in which we express the low self-esteem. This is all happening at subconscious level, and so we are not really aware of what we are getting into. But this is generally how we can divide the 4 types of responses. The first one, the kind of the people that I call the ignorant people. These are the people who are generally not aware that there is something which is bothering them in their life. So sometimes they feel very good about themselves, sometimes they are not so happy with themselves. The combination is that life is okay. Second variety are the ones which I call the helpless ones. These are the ones who have many expectations from themselves and who believe that there is nothing wrong with themselves, their lives, their surroundings or anything. And they actually believe that they can't do anything about it. It's not in their control to do anything. So most of the time they end up feeling bad about themselves and their situation. They actually feel helpless most of their life. And these are the people who are more prone to depression. These are the people who are actually in that state where they are trying to, you'll see people who are trying to be too nice to others, who are trying to please others. These are the people pleasers that you might be seeing around you because they don't believe in themselves, because they always feel that there's something wrong with me and if I don't please people, they're not going to be happy with me. How do I know? I have been there. I've been there. Now people often ask me that, why do you have low self-esteem? Now that's a very interesting thing to talk about, friends, here, because let me tell you, good looks, education, money, status, none of them guarantees that you're automatically going to have high self-esteem or a healthy self-esteem. Doesn't matter what you have or what you don't have. The question is, do you believe that you have something good in yourself? If you believe that you have something good in yourself, you don't need to actually have too many things or too many compliments from people. You would be, and you would be happy about it. So I was there in a place, and kind of a helpless place, spent almost 30 years of my life trying to please people, and I know that hurts. I know that hurts very badly. So then comes the third type of response to low self-esteem, and these are the fighters or the challengers. These are the people who can see that some things are good about me, there are some things which I don't like about me. They would make efforts to convert their weaknesses to strength and work on their self-esteem consciously. These are the challengers. And the fourth, most interesting and the most dangerous varieties, and incidentally the commonest variety, are the narcissists. These are the people who believe there is nothing wrong with them. Even if you try to tell them that your behavior was wrong, I didn't like what you said, you should not have done that. Maybe if you want that promotion, you should work for it. They will not accept any of it. They are in that field, that zone that they have created around them, that there cannot be anything wrong with me. So anything wrong happening, they will take out this one finger and point it out. You are wrong, you are wrong, you are wrong, you are wrong. If nothing else, definitely. So there has to be some reason, but there's nothing wrong with me. I will not work on myself. I will not change myself. These are the narcissists. Why they are dangerous? Let's hear this. Friends, every person, every human being has a need to feel superior. That's an inherent human need. There's nothing wrong with it. There's a need to feel that I am better. There's a need to feel that people should give me praises. This need is inherent in all of us. Now when I am in that position where, of course I know I'm not 100% perfect, but I do not want to work on anything that can make me better. So there's only one way left for me to feel better. Okay, so let's have a parallel example. If I give you 2 sticks from a tree, same length exactly, and I tell you I want one stick longer than the other, what will you do? Anyone? Now, break the other one. You break one and the other one automatically becomes longer. You know where I'm coming to. That's how these people with narcissistic attitudes operate. They try to pull other people down. They will always be making others that there is something wrong with you, because that temporarily at least makes me feel fantastic. I am one of the best persons around. So men and women might respond differently to their self-esteem issues. Let's talk about this narcissistic characteristics in men particularly. Now friends, please understand that a female might very easily accept that I am not so good enough. But male of every species have this inherent need to be superior. That's the masculinity that we talk about. It's an inherent need. I won't blame them for it. But if they are not trying to become superior, they are going to push other people down. So what happens is something that you can see everywhere around you. Now after I tell you, perhaps you are going to start seeing more clearly what people are doing to you. A boyfriend telling to his girlfriend in a very nice way, sweetheart, baby, I'm there for you. Why do you need to talk to anyone else? You know what is that? That's a narcissist telling you, I want to be in control. I want to be in charge. I've seen people who tell their men, who tell their wives and their girlfriends, they appreciate their wives and their girlfriends only when they are wearing loose fitting clothes, hair all tied up. They'll say, baby, you look very nice like this way, because they don't want other people to be more important than them. They don't want other people to appreciate their girlfriends or their wives, but they want them to be the superior people. You can see these kind of things always happening around us. Then this is the manipulation form. The control form is that they will often ask their girlfriends and their wives, you don't need to talk to these people. Why do you call up? When I called up, why your phone was engaged all the time? You should tell me, how come you are going to that party? There's no need for you to go to the party. You see them everywhere around you, right? They are right here amongst us. They are not bad people. They're just trying to feel, there's something good in my life. They are also bullies. Many of them are also bullies. So when they are in school or college, they might even physically hurt people, or they might create circumstances where they would gather people to make fun of someone else. So that if you are wrong, I am right. This bullying, when they grow up and when they are working in their working environment, this transforms into putting down your juniors, shouting on them, insulting people in other people's presence. This is very, very common. Why? Because if I can prove to the world that you are not good enough, I automatically become the better one of them. That's the easier way out. So that's how my narcissistic qualities come out. How do women respond? Well, all these things can be seen in women also, but typically women express in the form of jealousy. Okay. So you go to a party, and there's this really attractive woman. Everything inside me starts boiling. Difficult for me to accept that someone can be really good looking. So what do I start doing? Look at her sense of dressing. She doesn't even know. Come on, a combination of red and blue, that looks so horrible on her. What is this happening? People, please try to relate. This exactly is what is happening. Is I'm not, what I'm not is I've got no problem with that blue and red combination, but I have to prove to everyone else that she's not good enough. Automatically, perhaps it might make others feel that I am the one who is the attractive one. Women in workplace, if their colleague gets a promotion, would come down to the level to express that, okay, so she's always buttering up the male superiors. What can you expect from her? I will never want to accept that maybe she has worked harder for that promotion and I have not. I don't want to. Women can also be over-obsessed. Frequent calling to the boyfriends. Sweetheart, where are you? I'm missing you so much. What happened? When are we going out? This frequent calling is not always love. It's a feeling of insecurity which is coming from my inferiority complex. We are suffering. But the biggest sufferer in this whole scenario is the relationship. Because relationship which is for love, and love is something where you cannot live with so many images, distorted images in your mind. If you're trying to control someone, if you're trying to manipulate someone, that is definitely not love. And that's when relationships start getting affected. It's not just boyfriend, girlfriend and the husband-wife thing. Even parents do that. Even parents do that. Parents who love their child so much as when the child is born, Start manipulating things. A mother would want to mold the child in certain way. Why? Because if the child behaves in a certain way, then the world will say she's a good mother. So she is not confident about her way of parenting the child. She is not. She wants other people to give her the certificate that I am the fantastic mother. So she will put it all on her, the child that she loves. So she's putting it all on the child and getting angry with the child every now and then, not understanding what the child is going through, and in the name of love. This is how interestingly the low self-esteem starts acting. What can we do about this? Well, to begin with, for the people who are sitting here, for all of you, I would like to suggest something which I did for a very long time in my life. When I was suffering from low self-esteem, it was a very, very interesting things that were happening to me, which I could understand later on when I understood this phenomena. My primary trait was trying to please people. Another trait was to be ideal. I wanted to be ideal. And trust me, these two traits of mine almost drew me to the brink of depression. Fortunately, I could come out of it. I could understand what it is. I had to work on myself. But trust me, if you decide to work on yourself, you reach a fantastic place after that. Thank you so much.